How's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. Just trying to get shit ready to go over there. So,
Yes.
because we're also making a vacation too, so we're going to stay an extra week and do some stuff. Go to back down to Melbourne, then back up to Sydney for a few days each. So, figure we're halfway across the globe. We might as well
You
spend a
have to
little
do
extra
it.
time. We
Yeah.
wanted to do it last time, but last time we had the Monsters of Rock cruise right after our shows there. We flew back, and then the next day we flew to Florida.
I also take photographs, and I took photos of you guys last time in Melbourne. You were fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. It's just always a blur. We've been over there twice before, and it's like just boom, 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 and I'm sure it's going to be that way this time too. But at least this time, after we're done, I'm going to have a little bit of time to just go see some stuff and
Yeah.
enjoy it a little bit. But the shows are always fun. So
Yeah. Glam Fest, it's amazing. There's so many great bands on that bill.
yeah, it's gonna be chaos. So I could see it. Let alone over here, then over there, it's just gonna be what do we do? It's like, but it's gonna be good seeing a bunch of those guys. I haven't seen them in a bit, so it'll be nice.
I haven't interviewed you before, and I'd really love to know who influenced you?
I grew up with a lot of influence just because I grew up with music. My dad was a guitar player, so since I was born, I was, my mom was young too. So my dad was 20, my mom was 17 when I was born. So my dad was a musician, so my mom loved music, and so I grew up with a bunch of different stuff. Of course, rock and roll, Led Zeppelin. I remember going to my dad's rehearsals when I was little and thinking like I'm hearing them do "Good Times, Bad Times," and I thought that was their song. I didn't know. I didn't. I hear it on the radio. I go, "That's my dad's band." It was like, "No, that's Led Zeppelin." I was like, "Is my dad in Led Zeppelin?" Yeah, is that the name of my dad's band? I was like, I don't know. I was just little, so but
What was
I
the name
remember I
of
remember that. Say
what
what?
what was the name of your dad's band?
They were called the Brave New World. They're just local in Seattle back in the late '60s. You know what I mean? Or early '60s, late '60s. I don't know. I had a 45. They had a 45 that I got. That was like, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Did they do that because of George Orwell?
Probably. I don't know. I didn't really ask him. And I was little. I didn't care. I was like, I didn't know what that was. That was my dad's band's name. So it's
Yeah,
like,
because we know where you got your name from.
yeah, Russ Meyer movie. So
So good. After all this time, you released Nola in 2021. Everyone loved it. Why did it take you so long to release something new? And is more coming?
because I'm slow. As I get older, I get slower. So it's like it just took a long time. I don't know. I don't know why. Every time we come back from tour, we'd start working on stuff, and then we'd get another. We'd go out again for something else, and then we'd come back. It's just slow. Then I got sober too, and then after that, it was just a lot of working. But yeah, we just released a new song, Like a Ghost, right before Christmas. So that's new, and it's coming out on vinyl. That's all right, and it's coming out. We're gonna have the vinyl for it in Brisbane. Will be the first. It's being printed there, so it'll be a 7-inch blue vinyl sleeve. Looks killer, like the Nola single, but it's the new one and it's got Pirate Love on the B side, like on Nola, because we're releasing that through Golden Robot. So and
Fantastic.
then and we got more stuff in the can waiting to be mixed and stuff, and we're tracking right now, as you see behind. That's actually Ghost. I got to rehearse. We haven't played it yet. Playing it live will be the first time in Brisbane. Hopefully in Brisbane. Well, we're gonna rehearse tomorrow here. They've rehearsed it a couple times, but figuring out who's going to play what on the guitars because it's brand new, you know, so we have never played it, but we'll be playing that hopefully. We'll see when I get down to rehearsal tomorrow and see how good I think it sounds. So
Give it to Melbourne first. Don't worry about Brisbane.
there. Well, they do Brisbane sound check and then play it in
That's
Melbourne.
it. That's it.
There you go.
They're huge days. Like you're flying in. I think you've got a day off, and then they start at about 2 or so with your VIP parties, and you're going to get no sleep at all.
I know. This is crazy. We're like I'm making a move the shows up in Brisbane because it's just they're scheduled for us to go on, move the shows up and cut everybody's set times down. They got too many bands on in a short period of time for us. You know what I mean? Us going on at 12:10, you know, after midnight, and our flight to Melbourne the next day is at 6:55 a.m. So that's just ridiculous. So I don't mind banging out, like whatever. I'm not, but I'm getting older, so it's like it's not like we're all jacked up on cocaine and, you know, let's go. Doing all those days are gone. You know, those days are over. So I need to get my beauty sleep. You know, it's not really beauty sleep. It's called old man sleep. So it's like,
No, no, no. You don't need any. You're fine. And on
so
stage,
we're good. I'll get rest.
fantastic.
Well, I'll get rest when we're done. But yeah, that's the only one that was kind of buggy. I don't mind. I get up early. You know, even if I go to sleep, I get up. That's just the way it is. But like I said, I've been sober for almost 6 years, getting close. So it's like that's what I do. I get up early and I go do my walks, get some exercise, have my coffee. That's my only thing that I still do because I quit drinking, smoking, and drugs. Now I just coffee. That's it. I'm not giving that up. That's my
Do you think
hope.
do you think in earlier life you went to excess?
Parts of it, like actually the early days, I wasn't that crazy. It was more later, like early 2000s and stuff was a little bit. Oh, I didn't do enough of that when I was young. Let's do it now, and just yeah, did a little too much shit. So, but I survived it, so that's the main thing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. You're wiser for it, you know.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll take that one.
Do you enjoy touring?
I love it. It's that's the fun part, you know. I mean, writing songs and doing recording, and that's fun too. But touring is the best because you're traveling. You're you never know what that next day is going to bring because it could be just killer or there could be problems and you got to solve it. It's like a puzzle. So it's like, but most of the time it's really just fun. You just never know where you're going to end up eating that day or different day. Like I said, I get up and I do my walks. I don't know where I'm walking. I walk through somebody's neighborhood and through some park, and it's just see people you haven't seen in a long time. And let's say we're in Philly or we're in Boston or something, or you know, Illinois. You know, you just seeing new people. It's fun, especially after doing it so many years. You have these friends that, you know, I have people that I've known since the late '80s. You know what I mean? That are surprisingly still around. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's like that's what touring is, and it's fun. It's like when we go over to Australia, I'm going to see some of my friends from there, like you know all the art guys, Zaria and you know
Yeah.
KJ and Jordan and stuff. So they're you know, and Ronnie's in the band now, so
Yeah.
it's like you know, we got. But it's like that. I don't, you know, that's what's killer. It's like being able to see some old friends you haven't seen in a long time, especially going all the way over there. It's a long ways.
A long flight. And are there any touring anecdotes that you can share with us that maybe you really shouldn't?
Not that I can think of right now. I wish I could be clever and think of something that was just ridiculous, but the stuff that's ridiculous, I try to block out of my, you know, my mind and forget about.
We'll leave
But
that for
certain
the
things
book.
too. I'm in the process of been talking about getting our book done, getting a book done. So we'll start delving shit out. Like right now, a lot of the stuff still blocked up in my old drunk brain. That was, you know, I still got to pull out all the cobwebs to let some of that shit out. So, I
Totally.
mean, yeah, because every day there's something that you're like, oh, I forgot about that. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of things you're like, oh shit. Like I just did a post on my Patreon page that has so I'm going through stuff. My sister shipped. We brought back a bunch of crap that I had stored up there that was old pictures, and found pictures outside the apartment of Jeffrey Dahmer, because that show was just on Netflix and stuff. And I was like, that's not what the building looked like. I have pictures somewhere. I don't know where that. Then I was looking for something else and I found them. I'm like, oh my God, there's my Dahmer pictures from the apartment building.
Wow.
Somebody let me in. So we were on tour. It was like 92. And we were out with, we had My Sister's Machine from Seattle supporting us, and Blackboard Jungle from LA, our friends. We were just on part of I think it was just part of the Whip tour when we were doing our own clubs. And yeah, I think it was just between Ozzy and like Kiss tour or something. And we were at T.A. Burns. I just found that out. I remember that I couldn't remember the name of the club. And then I was looking up My Sister's Machine, Faster Pussycat, Milwaukee, and then T.A. Burns came up. Didn't have a show, but that was the name of the venue. I couldn't remember.
Wow.
And but some kid showed up we went for sound check, and he showed up there. He's like, hey, you want to go to Jeffrey Dahmer's place? And I'm just like, yes. And I went with Owen, the guitar player from My Sister's Machine, and he's a big, tall guy. And we climbed in the back of this little car, and they took us over there. And then we were snooping around, and one of the guys that lived in the building goes, "You want to come in?" We're like, "Hell yeah, we do!"
Wow.
So we went in there, and I got pictures of the door. It had police tape on it, and it was like torn down like a few months after we left. But so that was kind of interesting, kind of creepy.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when that was just on, Netflix. That was good. It was good. It was good.
It was really good, but it was dark.
Yeah, it was heavy. Because it's really crazy too. Is that I remember that shit. I remember when that shit went down. We were just like, shit. That was like, that was all right then. So it was like, yeah, it was weird. It was creepy. And then being there, and then I remember me and Fred, I think it was after that, but it was me and Fred went to yeah, because it was right before I went to Chicago. So it was fairly a year or so after that. Me and Fred Corey went. He was looking for a house, and so we went with his realtor. He goes, "Oh, you got to go see this house," and it was the Tate house. So it was the Sharon Tate house up there. So we went up there, and I got video footage somewhere. We had our little camcorders back then, and in the house, and went to the guest house and stuff, because they had the plans for the new house that was being built, because it wasn't a big house. It was a cool house, but it was just built probably in the 40s, and just just mellow. And the guest house was basically bigger than that main house, size wise. But it was just really cool and kind of creepy too. So I was all into serial killer shit. And when we were in Chicago, when I lived in Chicago too, my roommate Mike, he was like my best friend, and he's an artist as well. And he wrote Gacy, and Gacy wrote him back too, because we were out there, and fairly right before we were there, living in Chicago when he got executed and stuff. So, but he wrote. And another friend of mine, Ricky Vodka, out here in LA, wrote. They exchanged letters too. I was like, that's weird. All my friends writing Gacy. You guys are fucking weirdos. But I listened to a podcast called Casefile, and the narrator's Australian, and a lot of them were Australian too. So it's like the one that's on there now. It's like 200. It's from last year. I'm catching up. There's like years ever since I've been sober. That's my shit. I listen to every day on my walk, unless I'm listening to tunes or something. But the narrator's Australian. There's a lot of cases and unsolved stuff and solved stuff, but shit from way back too, and all throughout Australia. There's stuff from all over the world, though.
Yeah,
most of them are from U.S. and Australia, so it's like it's cool. I like it.
It's weird that it's sort of morbid, but I love that stuff. But
I go to sleep with true crime on Discovery ID on the TV. We call
What
it
is
murder
the
porn.
fascination? I don't know. I'm trying to work it out myself. What's the fascination?
I think it's just basically just, we're not as bad as them. You know what I mean? Like,
And we're lucky we're not the victims, too.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's next for you guys?
Shows in LA, the Whiskey, and we're doing the Rainbow birthday thing 2 days later. And then we're doing the Monsters of Rock cruise. So that's next. And right now they're getting ready to plan our summer. We're going to do some dates. Do a tour sometime in summer. I don't know when. It's going to be the front half or back half. Probably in July, August. That's what I'm thinking. US.
Yeah.
That's still being in the works right now. So
yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Go to Europe
Hopefully
at all? Or...
We haven't been since we were supposed to go over right when shit went down, 2020.
Yeah.
We were scheduled to play Hard Rock Hell that early March of that, when right before everything got shut down. It was the first shit to get shut down. So hopefully, we don't know yet. Hopefully.
Yeah. How did you cope with the lockdowns and everything?
It was just weird, but it was like we're home unless we're out on the road, So it was kind of sucked that our shit in England, because it was only an England tour. We were supposed to do a real tour, but we were in the midst of changing agencies and stuff, and they just didn't really have it together. So we had it sorted we had like 6, 7 England shows. So we haven't been over to Europe do a Europe tour since we were over there in 2017 with Mr. Big. So we're hoping to get over, but like us being home, it was basically a summer off. You know what I mean? So it's like we were the first ones to go back out. Us and Chip, Enuff Z'Nuff. We were the first ones out in 21. Right at the beginning. We couldn't even start in LA. We had to start in Vegas because the West Coast still wasn't back open yet. So, so that was fun. That was good. But we did some tracking. We did a lot of the drums and all that shit we did for NOLA that was done, and the stuff we did for a couple of the other songs that are coming. Ghost, next song, Motorbike's coming after, and we're doing a cover of In Excess's Don't Change. We're gonna play it in Australia, but like we played it last time too, but we changed it up a little bit. We made it a little bit more Sex Pistols-y. It's pretty for the recording, so but it's still all the same melodies, and nothing's changing that. We didn't want to take away from it, but some of the rhythms are a little bit more Sex Pistols-ish. So it's pretty cool.
Pussycat.
Exactly. So more punk rock. So
that's right. Now I'll let you go. I've got 2 questions that we usually ask everyone. The first one is, how would you describe Faster Pussycat's music in food form?
Fuck, I don't know. I guess it'd be like a taco salad. Just a little bit of mixture of this, a little of that. We've been influenced by everything. Very punk rock, mostly punk rock, but just different.
Yeah. A lot of heat though, I reckon. I reckon it'd be very hot.
Yeah. A lot of heat, a lot of meat.
And finally, our magazine's called What's My Scene? And what is your scene?
My scene now is spending time here recording and hanging out with my pooch and my lovely woman, Kimberly, and riding motorcycles. That's pretty much my scene now. I'm not a bar hopper anymore. I'm a biker, and I just like watching TV, watching movies and TV shows with the pooch and the woman. That's my scene. I'm old man scene now.
Oh no!
But I enjoy it.
You could never be an old man scene. Stop it!
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you in Melbourne.
Cool.
And it's coming up so soon.
It is quick as shit.
Yeah.
Before you know it, we'll be there.
Yeah, and
hopefully I won't be a fucking mess in Melbourne. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of sleep before we get down there.
I hope so too. Yeah. All the best. Thank you so much for your time. And
Cool.
I'll see you there.
All right. Take care.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.